From prison to palace, Joseph's incredible journey of faith. Have you ever felt like your life was falling apart? Like every door was closing and your dreams were dying? Today, I want to share a story that will change how you see your darkest moments. This is the story of a young man who went from being thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and locked in prison, only to become the second most powerful man in the entire nation. This is Joseph's incredible journey of unwavering faith. Joseph was 17 years old when God gave him a dream, a vision of greatness, a promise of purpose. He saw the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowing down to him. But here's what's powerful. When God gives you a dream, the enemy will try to kill it before it comes to pass. Joseph's own brothers hated him for his dreams. They stripped him of his colorful coat, threw him into a pit, and sold him as a slave for 20 pieces of silver. Imagine that, betrayed by your own family, sold like an animal, your future stolen in a moment. But here's the first lesson. Your betrayal is not your destiny. What people mean for evil, God can turn for good. Joseph didn't know it then, but that pit was actually a pathway to his purpose. Joseph ended up in Egypt, serving in the house of Potiphar, a high-ranking official. And even there, in slavery, the Bible says the Lord was with Joseph. He worked with such excellence and integrity that Potiphar put him in charge of everything he owned. Joseph was rising again. But then came another test. Potiphar's wife tried to seduce him day after day. When Joseph refused to compromise his integrity, she falsely accused him. And just like that, Joseph went from running a household to rotting in prison. 2 betrayals, 2 setbacks. Most people would have given up. Most would have questioned God. But listen to this. Even in prison, the Bible says the Lord was with Joseph. The prison warden put Joseph in charge of all the prisoners. Excellence doesn't need the right environment. It shines wherever you plant it. Joseph served faithfully in that dark place, not knowing when or if he would ever be free. Your current position is not your final destination. God is with you in the pit. God is with you in the prison. He's working even when you can't see it. Then came the moment that changed everything. Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, had 2 disturbing dreams that none of his wise men could interpret. That's when someone finally remembered Joseph, the Hebrew prisoner who could interpret dreams. Joseph stood before the most powerful man in the world, still wearing his prison clothes. But he didn't carry bitterness. He didn't complain about his past. He simply said, "I cannot do it, but God will give Pharaoh the answer he desires." Joseph interpreted Pharaoh's dreams by God's wisdom. 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of famine. But Joseph didn't just interpret. He provided a solution. He showed leadership. Joseph went from prisoner to prime minister in one single day. Pharaoh gave him his signet ring, dressed him in fine linen, put a gold chain around his neck, and made him ruler over all of Egypt, second only to Pharaoh himself. The same brothers who sold him would eventually bow before him, just as God had shown him in his dream 20 years earlier. But here's what's beautiful. When Joseph revealed himself to his brothers, he didn't seek revenge. He said, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." So what does Joseph's story teach us today? First, your darkest moment is often the doorway to your greatest breakthrough. The pit led to Potiphar's house. The prison led to the palace. Trust the process. Second, maintain your integrity even when no one is watching. Joseph could have compromised. He could have become bitter. Instead, he remained faithful, and God remained with him. Your gift will make room for you. It was Joseph's God-given ability to interpret dreams that opened the prison doors. Develop your gifts even in difficult seasons. God wastes nothing. Every betrayal, every setback, every tear, God was using it all to prepare Joseph for his purpose. Those 13 years between the dream and its fulfillment weren't wasted. They were training. And finally, the delay is not a denial. God's timing is perfect. Joseph received his dream at 17 and saw it fulfilled at 30. The waiting wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Maybe you're in a pit right now. Maybe you're in prison, not literally, but you feel trapped by your circumstances, your past, or your pain. I want you to know what God told Joseph. I am with you. Your story isn't over. That job loss, that betrayal, that closed door, it's not the end. It might just be God repositioning you for something greater than you ever imagined. Just like Joseph, your prison is not your palace, but it might be the pathway to it. Keep your faith, maintain your integrity, trust God's timing. Your breakthrough is coming. Remember, from prison to palace is possible when you trust God through the process. God bless you. Your palace is waiting. If this message encouraged you today, type "I believe" in the comments. Let's build a community of faith together. Don't forget to subscribe to Life Changer channels for more transformational Bible stories that will strengthen your faith.